I know, right? How long? Jordan, how long were you guys hiding under the table last year?
It was a good 20 minutes. We were just, you know, chilling.
It popped up and scared the shit out of me.
No, you said my phone was off because I didn't want it to go off, you know, and let people know where we were. And you sent me a text message. I saw it when I turned my phone back on and said, "Hey, do you want me to come in? I know you idiots are under the table."
Yeah, I'm actually looking for Gus. We're not gonna wait for Gus, but mainly because he's just not funny.
We got a little, I got a little intro video I'm gonna play right now.
Oh, great.
Miles loaned me his laptop. I don't know how to use it though.
I like that you're learning to use it by just clicking the same button again and again and again. Oh, that actually worked.
It worked.
What's Miles' password? It's all between friends. You can tell us. It's
Yeah.
Ruby butts. That's weird.
All right, watch this.
Isn't this panel scheduled for 4 p.m.?
Yeah.
It's 3:58.
Oh shit.
Oops.
All right, we need to clear the room.
No, stop. Do not play anything. Do not talk. We have to wait here 2 minutes and sit in silence.
I'm gonna be under the table. Yeah.
No, you do it. All right. You can be computer guy, Jordan.
All right, I'm computer guy.
Bernie's hiding. Oh no, let's do this. What are we watching?
This is our intro video.
Oh, so we're just starting.
Yep.
What's that shit in the corner? What's that shit? Why is it starting?
I don't know. This is Miles' computer.
What?
I don't know.
Is this loading from the internet?
You know what?
What the fuck is it doing? Why is Jordan computer guy? This is what happens.
I told you to be computer guy.
Why are you running Windows 8?
It's Miles' computer. How do you right click on this thing? Animated Adventures panel. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
I feel like we're missing someone.
Where'd Bernie go?
Oh, it's 3:59.
4 p.m. on Miles' computer.
No,
but
it's 4
I
p.m.
don't trust it.
It's 4 p.m. now. It's 4.
I got a question for the tech guys. Why is my crotch mic'd?
That's a little bizarre.
All right, my name is Jordan Swears. I am the creator and animator of the show.
I'm Gus.
He's in them.
I'm Bernie. I'm the criticizer of the show.
So you've made a rookie mistake here. Oh, I guess they can't see it. Never mind. I was going to say, you've left all your files there so everyone can see what's coming up.
Yeah. Well.
I did notice I was backstage. I think it was for the Achievement Hunter panel. And the tech guys have all these monitors back there, and they had a jump drive plugged in, and they had the folder for it, which was first show content, mid-show content, then final, and then a folder that just said porn. Then there was another one that said Mordor porn. I don't know what that was. I just really wanted to watch those folders.
It must have been for the Simple Walk panel.
I guess so. You guys are missing the good one next door, apparently.
Yeah. Those guys really got close to each other on that hike.
We pulled a switcheroo. We had them come in. You weren't here. They came in and they introduced this panel as though they were the Mordor panel.
Oh, man.
Which
it's a shame you did that so early.
Yeah. This is, by the way, make sure you're in the right place. This is the flight to Denver. Make sure everyone's where they need to be. So, all of you are from Denver? Wow. Amazing chance of probability just happened right there.
So what's this panel about?
We're going to do some Q&A. I'm going to show some videos. Do you guys want to talk about how the show got started?
Well, here, why don't we talk about the intro first?
Okay.
So I don't even remember when it was. Was it last week or the week before?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
I walked into the annex, and Jordan looked at me and said, what do we do for the intro video for the panel this year?
Yeah, we had a good one last year.
Because last year was
Dubstep Bernie.
Yeah, Dubstep Hipster Bernie.
Oh.
And I was like, oh,
you guys have got a lot of use out of that at the podcast, too.
So we tried to figure out what was a popular internet video over the past year that we could do, and we kicked around some other ideas. I don't remember what the other ones were.
Bernie suggested like the Russian guy walking through traffic with a bucket on his head or something. I don't know how to turn that into a video.
Jumping. He's jumping on top of cars, and this dude gets out, and like the dude with the bucket on his head is running away. And this Russian driver hits him, knocks the bucket off his head, and then he's got another smaller bucket on underneath the first bucket. It's probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen on the internet.
That's a good one.
The smaller bucket's pink too, I think, too. He was well accessorized.
So we literally had I don't know if to call it a meeting, but we literally had a discussion about what's been popular on the internet. We ran through a bunch of ideas, and eventually, I guess you settled on Nyan Cat. You didn't even tell me that's what you decided on.
Yeah. Originally, it was just going to be Joel with the gold bars for his body, and it was instead of it like the Nyan Cat song, it was gonna be just Joel over and over. So it was gonna be like Joel, 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 Joel. So I went in and recorded that. I did it really slow and then sped it up to fit with the music, and it sounded so weird and terrible that I had to come up with another idea. So I just added you with a pizza body and Gavin with a great body, and.
So is that literally you just had to draw each person one time, and it's just like a 2-cycle animation?
I actually had to watch Nyan Cat a whole lot so I could get it 1-to-1 as far as the animation.
You saying that's an accurate depiction of a Nyan Cat?
So was Dubstep Bernie.
In case anyone lines it up. Oh yeah, the Dubstep Bernie though is isn't just Nyan Cat the same thing over and over again?
Yeah, it's 6 frames over and over again.
And you watched it more than a second to get that right, basically?
It's really fast.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, when you talk about that, it's when we do that on the podcast sometimes too, where it's what are we going to talk about beforehand? And we'll try to think of topics or what was popular that week. And sometimes the more popular something is, like Nyan Cat was a phenomenon, you can kind of go off your radar a little bit as something that's popular, just goes into the background noise. Mm-hmm. How do you do that for selecting the bits that you choose to animate from the podcast? Do you just comb through hundreds of hours of content?
Sometimes I go back and listen to them again. The best resource for me is the RTA request thread on the group on the Rooster Teeth site. People are always suggesting things from old podcasts and current ones. And
we should make a custom URL for you. That's roosterteeth.com/RTA request. Adam, I know you're watching the stream somewhere.
Let's do it.
It's probably done already.
Can I suggest wigglyarms.roosterteeth.com? That would be appropriate, I think. What does it do with these lights? Are we
people got to see us?
Yeah.
I feel like it's a prison escape. We got to be up against the wall.
It does. It feels like Close Encounters. I feel like we should be opening the Ark of the Covenant at the front of the panel room or something.
Oh yeah. That's totally those lights. Got a generator going.
Yeah, it is. It's rather bright. We're doing road construction or something like that. I see some of you very weirdly silhouetted in halos. Maybe.
Y'all look good.
Yeah, you look good. You look good. It's day 3, so.
So you got some. Okay, well I'm not going to push your video agenda. I'm just really curious to see what else you've made for this. I'm really happy because the other day I got a message from Jordan saying that you're finally ahead again.
Yeah.
On Animated Adventures.
Yep.
I don't think you've been ahead since
December.
No, it's been longer.
No, I remember.
Was it okay?
Yeah.
I thought it was October or November of last year.
Because I left on vacation. That's why I need to get ahead.
What, 1 week vacation put you back 6 months?
I just never got ahead again.
Oh, I see.
We made a DVD. We did all this other stuff.
Yeah, that was a huge undertaking, the DVD.
Yeah.
That's when you guys did the first 3D Rooster Teeth animated adventure.
Yeah.
But is that the way this relationship works, Gus? Are you still managing Jordan on an ongoing basis?
No, for some reason.
Anymore, yeah. I don't know when it changed or why.
Brandon's his manager now.
Really?
Yeah.
When he was remote and working from California, he would pretty much only talk to me.
Yeah,
and
it was a lot better when Gus was my manager.
Now that he's in the office, he works for Brandon.
This is being live streamed, by the way, Jordan.
Love you,
yeah, my new manager
Brandon's
sucks.
Great. Yeah. That's Brandon let me live with him when I first moved here too, so that's really bad for me to say.
Really?
You're great, Brandon.
It's called job security where I come from.
Yeah, like, so I never see anything really. I try not to look at anything you're drawing. I never ask
You
like,
did walk
what you're
in
making.
during the squirrel one time, and you were like, "Oh, I wish I hadn't seen this."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What were you were drawing the
The squirrel peeing.
You were drawing the squirrel peeing out of the fucking tree. Which is like the funniest thing in the world to me. I wish that hadn't been spoiled for me.
I'm sorry.
I'll tell you what I miss since Jordan. You've been in Austin for how long now?
About 7 months.
There is a component to when you were working in California. There's a component of that I miss, and that is Gus would get the animated adventures early, and he would walk around the office going, "Do you want to see the new one? Do you want to see the new one?" It's like, yes. And Joel was like, "Am I in it?" It's like, "No." He's like, "No, I don't want to see it. Then I'll go shit." So, but everybody else was like, we all crowd around Gus's computer and watch the latest animated.
Yeah,
adventure.
Gus was a little sad when I moved here and was already showing it to everyone, and then Gus would. One time Gus was like, "Hey guys, want to see it?" He like went up to Michael and I was like, "Yeah, I already saw it. It's okay."
I was like, oh, taking my power away.
It is. It's like Gus's power is gone now.
When you first started submitting them, like when we first started doing animated adventures on the website, I remember you would upload them. We had an FTP, and you would transfer them like that.
Right.
And you know, it's like a minute of beautifully drawn animation.
Yep.
And these files were like 2 fucking gigs. I'd be like, how the hell did you make a 2 gigabyte 1 minute file that looks like that? They weren't even high def at the time.
No, they weren't. It's weird. That's just how they started exporting, and the compressor that was built into Flash for some reason got deleted, so it just stopped working. But we worked around it.
Yeah, God. So you were working remotely, submitting 2 gigabyte files. You start working locally, then all of a sudden they're like 30 gigabytes. No
Brandon
problem.
taught me how to make the files smaller.
Great.
All right. You guys want to see this week's animated adventure?
By the way,
I do.
Adam just texted me. rtxevent.com/RTAA works now. Enjoy.
Wow. Are you kidding me?
I told you, he's fucking crazy.
Yep.
Yet I still can't check my fucking email somehow. I don't know. That's the case. Adam, please don't fix my email. I kind of like it like this.
Ray. Also
All right,
ate my pizza.
So what's the story with the pizza?
So we were watching a movie, went to Alamo. So the food runner comes out and it's a pizza, and I'm like, I ordered a pizza. So he puts it in front of Gavin, and I'm like, mine. And I ordered a pepperoni pizza. So I took a bite, wasn't pepperoni at all, but it was good. So I'm like, I don't give a shit. So I kept eating it. So another 20 minutes goes by. They come back with the pepperoni pizza. I'm like, oh. And she puts it in front of Gavin. He's like, no, it's not my pizza. I'm like, oh, it's not his pizza. Then another person comes back, goes to Gavin. It's like, is that your pizza? He's like, no. They look at me. I'm like, well, my pizza. They come back again with the actual written order, and they put it up to me, and I'm like, yeah, I didn't write that. I'm sitting next to Michael. I look at him. I'm like, did you write that? I didn't write that.
It actually got resolved finally when she came over to me, pointed at my pizza that was being eaten by Ray. She was like, are you waiting for that pizza? And I said, yes. And then she just goes, he's eating your pizza. I'll go get you another one. And then storms off.
She was so mad.
You know how hard it is to concentrate on a really good movie when you're hungry?
They're running back and forth. I'm like, I'm watching the movie. You're asking me all these questions. I'm like trying to enjoy the film.
You inconvenience.
Gavin is waiting an hour and a half for a pizza. You don't even offer him a piece of his pizza.
No, I went up to him. I'm like, oh, pizza's so good. Sorry, Gavin.
You know, water under the bridge.
Yeah.
Nice haircut.
Nice pizza.
I love the way you drew Ray's hair in that.
I figured he had to have his bad haircut in at least one animated adventure.
So what are the rules for that? Like, Jack goes through various beard phases.
Oh, I miss Jack's
in the animated adventure, and I guess will Ray go through hair phases?
I don't know. His hair's grown back now, so this may be the only one where his hair is all messed up. And Gavin makes like direct comment about it, so it seemed really fitting to put it in there.
Were you tempted to give Gavin his bad haircut too?
I was thinking about it, but then I gotta draw shit.
That's just hard.
I saw you complaining the other day that you had to redraw an ice pack.
It wasn't so much redrawing it, it was the fact I knew I already had it, and I was looking everywhere for it, and couldn't find it. So, I ended up just drawing another one.
So do you have like any organizational structure for all your assets?
The main like characters are in a folder called library, and usually any props or anything, I remember what cartoon they're from, and except ice packs apparently. So that particular instance, I could not remember.
So I don't know how Flash works. You can't just like save an archive of objects. You have to go through and actually copy the object out of an existing file.
Yeah, and then you got to put it into another one. So there's basically a file that has like the opening intro, the credits, and like the podcast room, and then like all the main characters.
Why don't you make a file called animals and put all your animals in it? Make a file called objects, put objects in it, or furniture.
Well, you could also do like folders in the library, and I mean, it's really easy. I just haven't done it.
How many of these have you done?
105 now.
Do you think it's going to be easier to remember this as time goes on?
It's gotta be, right?
Why just start organizing it?
I'm just happy to learn that he uses a computer. I thought you used fucking crayons for these things. I had no idea. I'm really impressed by this conversation.
Thanks, Bernie.
Yeah. So you contributed something. A lot of times on the podcast, we'll say something, and we don't realize that it's something that people are gonna latch onto, and then it becomes a thing. And then Jordan has an unbelievable ability to magnify that thing. Do you mind if we lead into something else here to talk about?
What are you talking about?
I'm going to talk about the time that I talked about Catbug on the podcast. And for about 3 or 4 months, my whole social media life became a Catbug collection bin, basically, where I love Catbug. He's one of the characters in Bravest Warriors. And I mentioned him on one podcast. And then on another podcast, I told a story about getting drunk and just saying I am Catbug. But then you drew me as Catbug.
Right, yeah.
And I don't know why I didn't bring it today, but I have actually a plushie that somebody made for me, which is me as Catbug, which is like one of the coolest things I've ever been said.
Yeah, he's got a beard and he's got like a little cup that he holds too because he's drunk.
Yeah. I'm sure the makers of Bravest Warriors appreciate that we turned their character into a middle-aged drunk dude.
Oops.
Yeah, they're probably pretty happy about
Shane.
that. So they always loved it a lot. Always loved Catbug. You're a Catbug fan yourself too?
Me? Yeah, totally. People started watching Bravest Warriors in the office. I moved here in December, and that's when I started watching it. And
before you heard of it.
Yeah.
This is my thing.
Whatever. Before.
Hipster Catbug.
Yeah, right.
I knew when it was Kitten Bug.
I told Miles that he should start watching the show, and it wasn't until like March or April or whenever that he's like, "Oh, I just discovered this show. I've never heard of it before," and that really made me angry because I told him to watch it. And then, and then it was Miles who showed it to everybody else, and then Bernie. That's how Bernie saw it. That's it.
Well, you're so secretly mad about this. It's funny. It's like I knew about it, and I told him they still are feeling fine. I'll go in my corner if I can draw shit. I don't care. Fuck everybody.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, we give you credit for discovering it.
Dude, that is such an annoying thing, though. I hate that when you spend or you watch a show, and I'm guilty of doing this myself. But you have something that you really like, and you tell people like, "Oh, you guys should read World War Z or watch Breaking Bad or whatever." And like, yeah. And then about a year and a half later, somebody will watch it or read the book, and then they come and tell you how awesome it is, and they won't leave you alone. You're like, "Dude, I told you about this a year ago." And they're like, "No, but you got to read." It's like, I fucking told you to watch this. So I guess we're guilty of that with Catbug, telling you how awesome Catbug is.
Yes.
But you're right. That happens all the time. I feel like it happened with Breaking Bad.
Gus really gets mad about it.
I'm definitely guilty of that with Game of Thrones, where people were telling me to watch it forever, and I didn't start until season 2 was almost over.
You want to talk about that? Oh, how do we get you to draw Game of Thrones stuff? Can we draw like the Game of Thrones spoiler cast? You started doing Let's Plays.
Yeah. I don't know why I haven't thought about that. Like, you guys talk about it all the time. I mean, there's lots of funny moments. It'd be cool to see like Gus as like, I don't know, one of the characters.
Hodor.
Yeah. Your favorite.
Look how happy he is.
Like, Gustor.
Gustor.
My favorite moment in reading those books was when there was finally the line that said Hodor, which is like the best Hodor thing possible. I'm trying to stall while they talk behind me.
Hi.
We're chatting.
What? Bernie, you look really nice today.
Thank you very much. Today's been my longest day actually. Today I had no panels. I had one panel on Saturday, one of the shorter ones, and then today I've had 3 panels straight. We did RBB this morning, then we did the podcast one, which was like basically wrestling with Joel the entire time and keeping him from getting killed by Jack, and then this one to follow up. How about you guys? Have you guys enjoyed your time at RTX 2013? Yeah. Wow.
So Joel was disturbingly drunk at that panel.
Is that what that was?
I don't know. It had to have been.
Or just dumb and Joelish. Yeah. Are we taking questions? I see a hand up, and I don't know whether to tell the guy to put his hand
Yeah,
up.
let's start
There's
doing
microphones
questions,
set up.
If you have a question, go ahead and line up.
Joel sits around in the exhibition hall and gets him to get people to buy him drinks. That's what he does. Wow.
What are we doing up here?
That's called the word. So basically, Joel's homeless in a convention center. Is what it sounds like.
All right, questions. Go for it.
Okay, so this first one's for Jordan. What would you say is probably the hardest part about animating the podcast, seeing as how, you have to animate so much while they're talking, and usually people talk a lot faster than an action will be shown?
I think like how quickly everyone talks lends to the style of animated adventures, because they're only a minute, but they're like, usually they're a minute, but they're like packed with so much story and stuff and humor. So I don't think that's a challenge. It's just trying to think of what to put with what they're talking about. The hardest part technically is always drawing new stuff, because it takes a while. And I'm not that good of an artist, if you can't tell.
No, you're great. And
No, he's not.
What did I just say?
Don't ruin the magic.
And Gus, this is kind of unrelated, but do you and Jeff still hang out, since he's so busy in Achievement Hunter? Never see y'all in the same stuff anymore.
It's rare. I mean, yeah, we do, but it's like he's so focused on Achievement Hunter and I'm so focused on RTX. It's funny. We actually were taking pictures downstairs a little while ago in Exhibit Hall 5 together, and we were like, "Where the fuck have you been?" I was like, "Over there." "Where the fuck have you been?" "Over here." Like, oh my god. Okay, we'll talk later.
I have a little anecdote about you guys. I heard a story about the other day where you were in the kitchen, and I guess he was walking by, going to the bathroom or something, and he stops and he says, "Did you put the bar next to Achievement Hunter Lounge on purpose at RTX?" And he said, "Yes." And he goes, "That's why you're my best friend."
So that's why the bar is right next to the Achievement Hunter Lounge, just so Jeff can get liquor as quickly as possible.
Nice. Well, I'd like to see y'all in more stuff together. Thanks.
All right. What's your question?
Hey guys.
Oh shit.
This guy. He was at the podcast panel, and he was at the podcast panel last year too.
And
he
this one last year
He threatened to beat
too.
me up. Then this one, he said his girlfriend was here and we were going to sign her chest, but she was too embarrassed.
She's back there right now.
And then the Rooster Teeth subreddit voted this the most cringeworthy moment out of the Rooster Teeth podcast panel.
Oh, cool.
Wow,
Well, hey,
congratulations.
So far it has been. So
let's see if you can top yourself then.
yeah. No,
Oh,
actually,
no, we don't need to go there.
Yeah, I'm actually going to ask a question this time.
All
So
right.
this is fun.
New territory.
Right. Yeah. That's good.
My question is,
Clearly,
what does your
Hey,
blood smell like?
No. No. It's not that dark. Okay. Clearly, you have a pretty good example of a new animated adventure due to the podcast with Jack and Joel fighting. So I think almost every single person in the community would like to see that sometime soon, because it was absolutely hysterical.
Still not hearing a question.
No, no, I guess it's more of a do it than a question.
Well, I can ask a question based off of that statement, that rambling statement. So do you find in situations like that where like the action has already occurred and there's already a visual to go with it, is it harder to make an animated adventure about it? Like, for example, Joel and Jack fighting on stage. We have video of that. Would you make an animated adventure of that?
If I did, with the video podcast, it's basically, there's not much that is happening because you guys are just talking. So stuff like that is easy. But since like at the live podcast, they were like standing up and like fronting each other. I mean, the only thing I think I could do was like just put it in a different total situation, like put them in the jungle or something, like just make it really weird and like, how it totally did not happen. And just like maybe put them in like Jack holding a gun or like some sort of spear or something weird. So, I mean, you just take it up a notch when there's already when you can already kind of picture it.
Underground Fight Club.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Wait a minute. I just pictured animated Jack with his shirt off. Oh yeah. I would like to retract my previous suggestion.
Next.
All right, Jordan. Just like to say, I actually started watching or listening to the podcast because of you, because I wasn't.
Awesome.
A big,
Thanks, dude.
I know. I'm a lot funnier than they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. But because of that, I actually started listening now like 5 different podcasts. 2 of them being the RT podcast and the Patch. Just to let you know.
So most of the podcasts that you listen to are not Rooster Teeth podcasts. That's what I'm getting from this discussion. Good job, Jordan.
Yay.
The other one's slightly, somewhat related. They had a panel earlier, but you probably know what that was. But anyways,
I'm sure there's a question buried
yeah,
in here
there
somewhere.
There is. So
I was concerned I missed it.
So I also noticed on YouTube that there is actually some people who are making kind of clones of what you're doing. Like they're making specifically Achievement Hunter animated. And how do you feel that they're kind of somewhat copying you a little bit, or ripping, or
they don't get paid for it, so I'm fine with it.
Oh, and
True artist, ladies and gentlemen.
Quick question to Bernie also.
Yeah.
How you have you tried out the new iPhone case I gave you?
No, I have not. I'm still using my wallet case that I have, but no, I'm going to use the case. It's the Otter one, right? That you gave
Yeah,
me?
OtterBox. Yeah.
Yeah, I will try it out, especially next time I go to the pool because I've lost too many iPhones to water. So thank you.
It's supposed to be waterproof. It's supposed to be break-proof.
Wait, what?
It's not the waterproof kind.
Doesn't
Well,
water
you
break
just
your
ruined
phone
a
though?
really funny joke. Then you should have let me know that idea.
That's like you're just gonna ruin the case.
That fucking asshole.
That's really funny, actually.
Yeah.
We should get like iPhone cases and repackage them into the packaging for the waterproof ones and give them to people.
Yeah, because then people be like, yeah, it's waterproof and check it out. Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm just happy. I'm trying to get my life down to like one thing in my pocket if I can. I got this iPhone wallet case, so it's like one more step closer to it. So I just thought I'd tell you all that.
There was a lot of talk about Jack picking up that Tower of Pimps and smashing Joel's car with it. That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, it's a pretty funny visual. I thought about that, yeah.
Jordan, did you ever find that asset for the ice pack? Because I'm pretty sure I know which episode it's from.
Oh.
I did. Somebody did point it out to me, and I had already drawn the new one, and the one I redrew was a lot better, so I used that one.
What was the original episode?
It was the one where Gavin is the doctor, and he says, just stop being sick.
Oh, right.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Just
It's like
stop.
for 2 seconds it's in there.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
Sure thing.
First, I gotta say aloha because I came all the way from Hawaii to come to RTX.
Nice.
This is my first RTX.
Welcome.
So I came from Austin. Yeah, see? How you like me now?
So this is for Jordan and then the rest of
Howdy.
it. Jordan, is there anyone from Rooster Teeth that you haven't drawn in animated adventure yet that you want to? And Gus, would you ever consider doing like a RTX in Hawaii?
You go first.
That I want to. I don't want to draw anything ever. If I could just start animating a new cartoon, that's great. But there's always something that needs to be drawn. Usually, I will probably not do a story for a while if I have to draw someone. I can't think of anyone who I want to draw or who hasn't been drawn yet. Pretty much everyone at this point, like, I think, no, Shane, not you. Everyone has been drawn. I think the newest one is Jason. He's the most recent one. And so that opens a lot more for Jason to be in animated adventures. So good for him.
No.
There you go.
That's why I had you go first.
Yeah.
This one's for Jordan. What was the longest animated adventure that you made, and also what was like the shortest one? What took you the least amount of time?
As far as time goes, the longest one lengthwise was episode 100. That was almost 6 minutes, and it got made pretty quickly, even though that there'd been a lot of build-up to it. The production was only about 2 weeks on it, and a lot of it happened in the last 24 hours, too.
I was going to say, 8 months to like load all your work in the last 24 hours. Yeah, that was fast.
It was a weird thing where I thought episode 100 was due 2 weeks after it was supposed to be due. So that's why there was so much of a rush at the end. Quickest one, I don't really know. The shortest one was probably the Joel and the snake story, but that one took a long time because that was early on and I wasn't still good at anime. Well, I'm still not good, but I wasn't as bad. I was worse than I am now. There we go. And the snake was really hard to like animate in the water and getting the waves right, and it still looks bad, but it took a long time, and it was only like 55 seconds long. But yeah, that one was, when I think of the hardest ones, that one was always tough.
Is that the first time you had color in a animated adventure, when they were running in the sunset with the snake?
Yeah, I think so. I think that was the most like stark example of it. Like, yeah.
I remember because Matt came down. I was talking to Matt. He goes, "Did you see this week's animated adventure?" I said, "Yeah, the snake one. It's funny." He goes, "No, there's a sunset scene where Jordan has a bunch of that's got color in it." And I go, "Yeah, okay." He goes, "He's really improving."
I added orange.
Yeah, you bucket fill.
That that little shot of them running to the pool with a silhouette sunset is an homage to Homestar Runner, because they would do a lot of those shots where like if the character's walking somewhere, they have like that silhouette in the sun in the back. Yeah, Homestar Runner.
I saw someone wearing a Homestar Runner shirt here.
Oh, really?
On Friday.
I wanted to wear mine, but
it was Strong Bad.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Homestar Runner is definitely my #1 influence for starting animated adventures.
Yeah, their characters don't have arms either, so it all works out.
Yeah.
Actually, in the snake one is one of my favorite bits.
Oh, yeah.
When they go to pick up the snake, and instead of like animating, let's pick up the snake, their arms just grow and they like pick up the snake.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun. How do you do that, with like a masking tool or something?
No, I just do it frame by frame.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and layers. Yeah. I always wanted to learn how to use masking, but have not gotten around to it.
You know, we have subscriptions to like online sites that teach you how to do.
Yeah, but then
things in
I
the
could.
software.
That's just. I know how to do it the hard way, so I always just do it that way instead.
Well, it's like anything else, you know. Animation. You look at any popular animation, where it starts, and then over time the process evolves, and you can see that, like professional process of refinement that takes place in any animation project. Jordan, why do you think that hasn't happened with your project?
There's a funny moment when I was making the 100th episode. There's this scene where Gus goes into a room and he's in like the shitty background that I made for the first animated adventure. And in my head, I was like, yeah, it's gonna be, a real stark contrast and everyone's gonna get it. And then I put it together, I was like, oh God, it looks the same.
Yeah, I think very few people caught
Yeah,
that.
but I was happy that they did, so.
As soon as I saw it, I knew it.
Yeah.
And I think it was even like the old Jeff character.
Yeah, it was the old Jeff character. It was all like the hand-drawn stuff, and there's no lip syncing when he talked. So, I mean, I thought those were big leaps for me.
If you go back and you watch Animated Adventure 1 now, it's essentially a long slideshow.
Yeah,
There's
it's
very
a picture
little
show.
movement. Yeah.
Is there any chance you have that?
No, I don't have that on me.
All right, never mind. Sorry about that.
Sorry, everyone. I'm disappointed.
All right. Thank you very much.
Since I brought up the topic of episode 100, there was a lot of, it was probably the biggest production I've ever done on my own, and there's a lot of...
Yeah, fuck you, Chris, and everyone else that worked on it.
Thanks, Chris. Chris really did have a big part in it, but he only worked on it for like half a day, so...
You said the most of the work was the last 24 hours.
Shut up, Gus.
Half a day's only 12 hours. I'm with Jordan. Fuck Chris.
But yeah, Chris did have a big part. I don't want to downplay his role in it, but
I do.
All the recording, there was a lot of extra stuff that I wasn't able to put in, so I put together a little outtakes reel of all the funny jokes that didn't make it in. So let's take a look at that.
Oops. I got a tear and a stain in front of my shirt.
Just gotta jiggle it around.
Jordan, what the fuck is happening in the script?
And now there's a fucking piece of paper.
Oh, I love being in Gus's head. It's filthy. It's real filthy in there.
And why is there a goat in your script?
Now I'm getting kind of strong bad in here. Huh? Oh, yeah. Answering my emails.
You got this shit. Who played the goat?
Shannon.
What an asshole.
And it says I'm naked here. Why am I naked?
Hey, I'm dumb. I'm not so dumb. And we're the dumb guns.
I am the new ruler of this podcast land. Bow down and show me your pods.
Girl, There we go. I just gotta go, and then I get the dark chocolate flowing through my veins. It's like Hershey's up in this bitch. If you were to cut open my arteries, sweet chocolate syrup would pour out onto you. And you put it on your ice cream, and you go, that's good.
And my evil pet, Flatbush the platypus. I shouldn't really call him evil. He's just an animal, but he's associated with evil people, which makes him evil.
I'm not even drunk.
I come bearing gifts, and this is what I receive? Infamy, blasphemy, dicks.
Behold the full power of this fully operational platypus.
I think you should do an animated adventure about this. And it's entitled, Joel Does Not Know What the Fuck is Going On in the Script.
So wait, whose brain is it? Your brain. My brain.
I'll deal with you myself. Flatbush, deal with him.
You may have the hand of my beautiful doll. Blah, 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 blah.
Pizza god. Sacrilegious. Don't use the sacrilegious. That's a Simpsons thing.
And the end.
I'm glad you didn't use the sacrilegious line.
I figured it would be great for an outtakes video because there was one in the other one where Michael told me not to use something, so I put that in there.
That's the best place for it.
Yeah.
That's what outtakes are made of. Stuff that you shouldn't put in.
Yeah. Stuff the Simpsons did.
Stuff you take out, yeah. Sacrilegious was definitely a direct ripoff of a Simpsons joke.
Right.
And I think whoever was recording at the time hadn't heard it. That's why I ran out. I was like, don't use that. That's an actual Simpsons joke.
Yeah, it was funny. Any more questions?
I just wanted to say one more thing. Bernie and Gus, I'm a little disappointed. I was told there would be heckling involved.
Heckling who?
The questioners.
Oh, I hate that fucking shirt, dude. That's terrible. Did we promise to heckle the?
I did.
I wrote that.
Did I see this guy?
Oh, you did. We didn't know he had a responsibility.
In the description for the panel, since we did so much of it last year, I figured
we did a little bit of that last year.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now we're just heckling Jordan. Sorry.
Hey guys, I have a quick question for Jordan.
Yeah, whatever.
Or quick.
I have a role to fill here, sir. Sorry about that.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Jordan, so Monday rolls by, new animated thing goes out. You got 6 more days to do another one.
They come out on Wednesday. Sorry.
Fuck. Okay, Wednesday. You got 6 more days. Time for it. Like, how much time do you devote for this sort of thing? How much time goes to animating? How much time just goes to researching?
That's all I do. I mean, 5 days a week I'm working on the show, and
you can work on the show on your 3DS.
Oh, I wish.
Wow.
I didn't know they had Flash running on that yet.
I was doing research.
Oh, okay.
There's an Animal Crossing bit coming up.
You know what, Jordan? Fuck it. He's not your manager anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. That's why I don't say shit. Like, walk by, it's like, oh, Jordan's on 3DS again. All right, whatever.
Get those bells.
The house is going to pay for itself.
So let me think. What's the average episode of RTA run? About 60? Is that fair? 90?
A minute? Yeah, about a minute.
I'll say a minute 15.
Don't make me do math.
Minute
dude.
quarter.
It's 75? So you're doing an average of 10 seconds a day. That's pretty good, dude. 10.7.
That's assuming working 7 days a week.
That is. Also catching fish and bugs is in there, too. So, yeah, that's really good. I mean, an animator doing that much in a day would be, you could finish a feature film of very high quality. And, God,
or you could do what I do.
It would only take you 90 weeks.
It takes about 3 days to do an animated adventure, but I think that's solid animating. When we did that time lapse, I was surprised to find out that it was almost 12 hours of just drawing and animating everything, and then there's the whole, like, editing the audio, drawing all the new assets does take a long time, animating and lip syncing. It's a lot of work.
I love all the stuff you layer in, and is it sometimes a balance for you to like say, oh, I got some other jokes I could add in on top of some visual jokes, but there's just not enough time to do it?
There was the best example for that is in the Mars episode where Gus goes to Mars. I had drawn some. There's that old podcast joke about heavy boots in space.
Oh, right.
That's how they don't fly away from the moon. They're wearing heavy boots. I had drawn some like boots that I was gonna label heavy boots and have them in the background, but they just didn't work. There was no place for them, so sometimes stuff gets cut, I guess.
Save it for a later one then.
Yep. I haven't drawn it. I don't gotta draw it again.
So when you're saying
you can't find it, I'm sure.
When you're saying you drew heavy boots, you just drew a label that said heavy boots to put it on existing boots, right?
No, I totally drew they had to look like space boots.
But there were already space boots in that episode, weren't there?
No.
But you never show people's feet.
They don't show their feet.
Not
well,
heavy
people were surprised that they thought the first showing of like a character's feet was in the 100th episode when the fulcrum jumps on the desk, and I guess it was just because like the feet were in like plain view. But there's a lot of instances of feet in animated adventures. It's so weird to say. There's many instances of feet in my work.
You're like Quentin Tarantino of Flash animation.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Sure thing. Hey, head crab guy. What's up?
Hey,
nice hat.
Thank you. I
Nerd.
love it. Look who's talking.
I'm not good at heckling.
I got a two-part question. Since you've moved to Austin, how many horses have you seen?
I saw a horse like the moment I got off the plane. Oddly enough.
Was it like a greeter? Like, welcome to the city of Austin?
It was like, nay, welcome. I wish Bernie was around to punch it.
Ah, yeah.
Ha ha ha.
Was every tooth in the horse's head sticking out a different direction? I always wondered when you drew horses if you'd ever seen them before. So it's a good question.
I wanted to draw a stupid looking horse. No, it was stupid.
Yeah, it definitely was.
In the origin of the horse puncher one, there's the normal looking horse that, is fine and doesn't bite anyone, and then the derpy horse that bites everyone, the one that you end up punching.
10 years of content for the company, going on 11, it's always weird to find out the ways that people find out about Rooster Teeth. And one of the weirdest by far was, I asked somebody, I said, how'd you find out about it? It was really strange. A horse had bit up my car, and I looked it up online, and your company was listed for cribbing problems for horses, and I saw this video. And I just like talked to myself, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
No way! I've never heard that.
That is the weirdest thing. That was the weirdest vector ever. This person had a problem with their car being bit like mine was.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yep.
So I guess it's like a Google search algorithm gone awry. Like people searching horse cribbing, looking for that video.
If you go to the Wikipedia entry for cribbing, they talk about my car in it.
Yeah,
that means
I don't know.
It's really legit now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's on Wikipedia. It's got to be right.
It has to be. I'm also one of the. Now they updated the flag of the moon or the Earth.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
Oh, they did. Good. I hate when people change Wikipedia based on the podcast.
Yeah, it's awful.
And I'd like to say thanks for I've seen a lot of new artists because of you on Twitter and the people that you follow, like Anthony Nedroid.
Oh yeah, I love that guy.
Yeah, and just a bunch of things, and it's great to have all these people that you've introduced me to.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
And how upset are you about JonTron leaving the Grumps?
Too soon. I don't want to talk about Game Grumps, but everything's fine. Danny's funny. That's it.
Thank you.
I like the homage to Game Grumps in this one. It was great.
Hey, my question is for Jordan. Have you ever thought of doing another type of animation style for your shorts, like 3D models or claymation?
Why? What's wrong with what I have now?
Nothing's wrong. No.
Yeah, why would you keep doing it on a computer when you can move on to claymation? But drawing on your computer's over, man.
Cave drawing.
Clay.
Clay's the new thing. We did do the 3D modeling one that was like pretty much just one-to-one recreation, and that one was a lot of fun to do. But it's still a long process. It's longer than doing a 2D one. I feel like the style has evolved a little bit. I mean, it used to be really, really like raggedy, poorly drawn, and over the last year or so, I've gone over and like redrawn a lot of stuff to make it just not look so shitty. And
don't tell him.
It used to be really raggedly drawn, but now there's more episodes.
Thanks, Bernie.
I'm sorry.
Are you gonna also comment on how all the women look the same in the show?
I thought about it. I was wondering why Kara worked at the pizza restaurant or at the Alamo.
Well, oddly enough, I was working on that, and I was showing Nick from Simple Walk was in the office, and I was showing it to him, and Kara was watching, and she goes, "Oh, is that supposed to be me?" And I was like, "No, Kara, you don't look like that." And she's like, "Yeah, I do." I was like, maybe Bernie's right.
Also, I have a gift for Gus that I wanted to give him during the podcast panel, but I never got to the mic.
This
so
isn't the
I'll give it
podcast
to him
panel,
now.
so.
I wanted to give it to him on the podcast panel, but
No, come on, let's do it. Especially if it's booze, because I'm really thirsty. And it's really sober.
Joel literally took every gift from the podcast panel and to go bribe Jack so
man.
he wouldn't get killed later.
Oh, sweet.
What's that? Did it work? No, Joel's dead. Hey, can I borrow that?
It's a copy of The Last of Us signed by the Naughty Dog team. Thanks,
really?
man. That's awesome.
Let me borrow it and put my fingerprints all over it.
So this reminds me, I was
Nice
lucky
of you,
enough to
man.
get a copy of Last of Us before it came out.
Fucking every
And
time it comes up, you got to mention that. Brag about it, why don't you?
after I finished it, before you all even played it, I lent it to Brandon. Then after Brandon, Jordan asked to borrow it. So Brandon came and gave it back to me, and then I immediately turned around and gave it to Jordan. Then Jordan broke Brandon's PlayStation. So he
Or it just broke.
So he brought the disc back to me. So I hadn't seen this disc. I'd already lent for a while. I'd already lent it to Brandon and Jordan. I grabbed the disc. Mind if I demonstrate? I get it back. I do this. Why the fuck is my disc scratched to shit?
Whoa, it was not scratched.
It was like covered in scratches and fingerprints.
Fingerprints, maybe. I did not scratch.
Maybe?
I will fight you on this one, Gus.
Brandon saw it. He will back me up.
How do you know Brandon didn't do it?
It's possible, but I suspect the guy who broke a PlayStation also in the process of being the one.
Brandon's PlayStation was one of those like original fat ones. And
I
he
have
was
an
like,
original fat one. I finished the game just fine before you even
he
played
didn't
it.
want me to borrow his because he didn't want it to move because it's so old, and I guess moving it broke it. Because it was working fine, and then I didn't touch it, and it broke.
Do you ever like
Back me up on this one.
So the Let's Play that you did an animated Let's Play, and you got to draw assets in Minecraft. Was that fun? I mean, would you like to work more in some of the video games that the rest of Rooster Teeth works in? You ever drawn a Halo character ever?
No, I don't think I have. Yeah, I mean, the moving to the Let's Plays, it seemed like a natural progression because the show's called Rooster Teeth Animated Adventures, and it seems to encompass the whole company, like everything that gets out.
Plus, when the people listen to the Let's Plays, they really want to know, what did it look like?
Well, see, that was why I didn't want to do the Let's Plays, because there was already like a visual representation. And then Gavin gave me like the raw audio, like all 6 tracks of everyone. So like, you know, it would have been really hard to animate that moment from that Let's Play with everyone talking over everyone. But being able to like move everyone around and like only having one person talking at a time, I was able to make it more of like a narrative, you know, where there's a natural progression of a story instead of just these random moments coming about where, like, you know, he sees the creeper, he tests it, and then walks away, sees another one, and then, you know, people are telling him shit's gonna happen. You know, that's not how it at all happened in the video, but being able to move everything around made it, you know, more like a different story, but still the same.
It seems like a creeper is a very simple design until you have to draw one by hand. Then it seems like it would be impossible, like with the texture and all that.
Yeah, it was weird. Drawing, like, and they got those weird feet.
Cubes on cubes,
Yeah.
basically, yeah.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun to do, and I look forward to doing more stuff related, like not just podcast stuff, and even the new podcasts lends themselves to animated adventures because there's always funny stuff going on.
Yeah, or patch too. Well, cool. Thanks for answering my question. I appreciate that. Here's a
You're
gift for
welcome.
you. I got you a
Cool,
Last of
thanks.
Us.
I can't wait to see myself as Ned Stark.
Here, have a DVD.
Oh, thanks, man. Oh, what do you got these for? You gonna give these away?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Why didn't you tell me? I would have given one to the dude who gave me Last of Us.
He didn't give me Last of Us.
Where's the
Good
guy
call. Good call.
Where's the guy who gave me this Last of Us copy? Come
back
here.
up here. Gus will give you a DVD.
I'm gonna give you a DVD. You didn't leave, did you?
Apparently,
wow, this room's huge.
Apparently, that's all he was here for.
Yeah, it goes way back, past the halo
Can they
of
hear
lights.
us back there? God, a bunch of uglies back there.
All right, we got about
Right here.
10 minutes left in our panel here.
Thank you.
All right. So, guys, I've met a lot of interesting people here, and the one thing I always talk to them about was that everybody wants to be on-camera talent for you guys. But I assume it's not a simple process like hand in your resume. So I was wondering if you guys could talk about what the barrier of entry is for that kind of stuff, you know, to actually work on camera or, you know, be someone who's on screen.
Well, we don't hire people specifically to be on-camera talent. Like, we don't have a pool
That's the one job we don't have.
of actors. You know, we hire people that do good work and can do things that we need. And then if it so happens that they can act or be good in front of a camera, great, we'll use them. But, I mean, we don't hire actors. And it's painfully apparent in Rooster Teeth shorts.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's always been just a very dynamic process. Actually, we do. I guess we do hire on-screen talent because we hire professional voice actors, but they typically don't work in the office. If we hire somebody to work in the office, we do not hire on-screen talent. It's just that's something that naturally evolves. Ryan is probably the latest great example of that, where he was hired to just run game fails and process all those videos coming in for game fails, our YouTube channel, and he just became slowly over time one of the most popular achievement hunters. Now people can't get enough of Ryan, so it's just one of those things that just dynamically happens.
And I had a request for an animated adventure. So I've been a long-time fan of the podcast. Like, I found out about Red vs. Blue and Rooster Teeth from the podcast. So thanks, Gus.
Hey.
And there's this long... I've made these requests on that thread, but I've noticed Bernie made the claim that he can fight any animal, and he slowly started backpedaling from it.
No, get the hell out of here.
I remember this. First it was like, I can fight anything. Then it was like, maybe I'm afraid of a gorilla. And you're like, I never said I can fight anything. I can probably not get killed.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I can. He said I can fight any animal. I could keep any animal from killing me. I'm not saying I'm going to go out and fight a damn shark.
Yeah, I don't think
win.
you ever said you could win against any animal.
I'm not going to pick fights. I'm not going to go like into the bear cage and go, "What's up, bitch?" You know, or anything like that. But I'm not afraid of running into like a lion or something like
and
that.
I guarantee
There's no
you said
lions in
that
here, right?
on the first podcast. I remember Jeff and Gus were talking to you about it, and they were talking about clearing the room and putting a tiger in you. And check the tape. It's a really good podcast.
I think
Bernie backpedaling.
No, but I think what I as much shit as I give him, I have to agree with Bernie.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, because even there he said, I might lose an arm.
Yeah. But that tiger would choke on that fucking arm, dude.
How surreal would that be to have your arm torn off and then use it to like jam it down a tiger's throat?
Don't tell the tigers that. We need to keep that strategy as a surprise. Yeah, no, I feel like I got Jeff and I's story from the bar in New York of like, I got technology. Take out any animal. Yeah, that actually goes back to a long range discussion. We ran into a bar. We were showing Red vs. Blue at Lincoln Center, and Jeff and I had seen it 1,000 times. We'd all seen it, like season 1, like 1,000 times. So we ducked out. We knew exactly how long we had to go down the street and get a drink. And we ran into the drunkest dude in the bar in Manhattan. He was from Jersey. And he was like, "How many dogs you think we take at once?" And I was like, we're like, "Dude, we don't know. To leave us alone." He goes, "I could take 3." He goes, "I can do 1, wrap my legs around the neck, get 1, bam, like this, 1 like this, bam, but with 4, they just go right for the balls." So,
and then he said the next day you go to work wearing a dress.
Yeah, which I guess a critical injury to your groin makes you wear a dress somehow. But that's where that whole discussion came from.
All right, thanks, guys. By the way, that massage, the Indian massage, it's fake. I am from India.
Is it really?
Just a warning.
The Indian head massage videos are fake?
Yeah, they just make it up.
Really?
Yeah, I've been there.
I will talk to him.
He might know about fighting animals too. I hear India's kind of crazy.
Hey, Jordan, let me ask you that. So I've always considered animated adventures to kind of be the spiritual successor to Rooster Teeth comics, because I was always trying to work on a way to get those guys to animate. Like Luke, I always wanted to get him to work on some kind of animated content. Do you ever feel like maybe like that story that where Jeff and I were in the bar talking to that guy from Jersey, would you not do that because it was covered in comics? I never even thought about that. Like one of the stories that was already covered in RT Comics. Does that ever enter your mind?
No.
Well, it does now, I guess.
Yeah, now I'm thinking
I didn't mean
about
to
it.
jinx you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I can't stop thinking about it.
You know, because I don't know how far back you would have mined for material, but there could be some really cool stuff that was covered back then.
That'd be interesting to go back and look.
We'll just spend an entire podcast reading comics. You'll have something to animate.
Jesus.
Come on,
Sorry.
Bernie.
Hey, guys, sorry.
All right, we got like 8 minutes left, so.
I was wondering, the first time you saw or I guess Burning Guest, the first time you saw the first RTAA, did you just think, wow, this is really funny, or did you get mad that some guy half-assed it?
No, I thought it was.
I got mad.
I thought it was fucking hilarious the first time I saw it. I think I watched it like 4 times in a row.
The first.
I think I was in San Diego the first time I saw it.
Yeah, you guys, because like it was like the day after the podcast came out that I started working on it, and it came out that Saturday, so you must have still been there.
Yeah.
And I remember I put it up, and that night you made a journal about it, and kind of gave me a panic attack because I wasn't expecting anyone to really see it or even acknowledge it. So it was quite a thrill.
I think Bernie's the one who actually texted it to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's a rare. I watch a lot of stuff online, and there's been a couple of rare instances where it's like we see something and it's like right away it makes total sense. RTA was definitely one of those. The other one that I've told the story a couple times this weekend was when I saw Michael's video of him chasing crackdown orbs, and I thought, this is just one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Same thing with RTAA. And how long was it between when we found it, you posted a journal, and Jordan was making them for us?
When did you first make that one? It must have been
July 3 years ago.
Yeah, but so it was a fast process, though, of like a couple weeks? You were making them for us?
It was about the 4th one that I first got contacted. And then
it wasn't until next January, so it must have been like 6 months.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Did we start sending you assets? I think I remember. Didn't we start sending you audio?
No, we've never sent you audio.
No.
Oh, really?
I know we talked about it, but I just did it myself.
We never give him any support.
Also, I brought booze.
Well, you brought booze?
Yeah.
All right. I hope it's for us, because it's going to be awkward if you just walk away drinking.
What is that?
Hey.
O'Doul's? Nice.
Sweetwater Blue. Thank you very much. Here's
you get a DVD for that. Oh, well.
Oh, look. Fuck.
That was my gift to you, but Bernie just re-gifted my DVD.
Yeah, sorry. we literally, she hands us the beer. Jordan like, oh, here's a DVD. Thank you so much. All this stuff. Gus goes, yeah, it's warm.
Well, you were grabbing it. I'm letting you know. You don't drink it right now.
I'm not supposed to hit the table during the podcast. So I can do it here. Perfect.
Nice.
It's a twist off, you dick.
No, it's not. I feel like Gavin. I'm spilling all over myself.
Hello. Hey. Real fast before your question. So we're about 5 minutes away. I just want to remind you we're 5 minutes away. I don't know if we have anything else that we're going to show, but I'm just letting you know.
Hey guys.
I don't know. Legitimately, I showed up early, but apparently it was late.
Well, it feels like there's been more of a focus on the podcast lately. Like you got the dedicated sets and the patch and the live streams. And how I first got introduced to the podcast was through the animated adventures. Yeah. And I was wondering if you thought that the animated adventures contributed to this increased focus with the extra popularity, like things like that.
I think it definitely helped. I think they definitely fed each other. I mean, when you have a super long podcast and you can take and distill it down to the funniest minute, it makes people interested in the podcast. And it's definitely a way for people to get into it. Absolutely. There's no question.
The podcast gets distributed across a lot of different platforms. There's the live stream, there's YouTube, and there's iTunes. Most of the views are on iTunes and the audio channels. But I think it's really telling that when the video goes up on YouTube, the animated adventure for that week will get a lot more views than the actual podcast itself, on that platform. I don't think we could put RTAA on iTunes, but yeah, people love it, and I think it's all for some people, it's the way they consume the podcast.
Yep.
Is the RTAA.
I think it's probably the most accessible thing because they're short and they show off who everyone is and the humor that is Rooster Teeth and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a really good way to introduce people to it.
Yeah. Okay. Your work's great. Quit rubbing it in. We get it.
Thanks. I was gonna put myself on the back, but I'm glad you did.
No,
have you drawn yourself?
I have drawn myself. I have not been in one yet.
Oh,
I have myself drawn just in case.
We're doing it. We're fucking breaking into the office right now.
Have you drawn your? Never mind.
Okay, so I have 2 questions.
One, Jordan, what do you use to animate? Do you use like Maya or something from Adobe?
We always wanted to do a really funny short where it was like a real serious discussion, like a documentary of like the making of Rooster Teeth Animated Adventures, where we have like Shane and Monty in their mocap suits, capturing for animated adventures, but it's just them like holding like pool noodles and then like getting pushed along on a skateboard because that's how they walk. And but yeah, I just use Flash to animate. It's all done in Flash. It's drawn and animated in Flash.
And secondly, Boney.
Yeah.
If you were to chug the rest of those beers, do you think we could get half a minute of drunk Boney in here?
Trying to think. I'm doing math in my head. I think you get throwing up Bernie. It's probably what you got. But listen, I'm willing to try. Let's try to give this a shot. My girlfriend hates you all so much. She had to babysit me at where were we? E3?
No, we were at PAX East.
Holy
God.
Christ.
Yeah.
How drunk were you?
You fucking turned off all the lights in the goddamn restaurant.
I don't think we told that story. I came out of the bathroom. I didn't turn off the lights. It was a nice like steak restaurant, and I go, "This place is too dark." Yoink! And turned up all the lights.
The only reason I had followed you to the bathroom is because I saw the manager following you to the bathroom. Like he was gonna roll you out of there. You fucking come out of the bathroom and turn all the lights up. I was like, oh god damn it.
Did you turn around right there and be like, yeah, I don't know him?
I'm actually. I mean, Ray doesn't drink at all. I'm actually one of the people in the office that drinks the least. But when I do, I don't mess around. I go full force.
I get worried whenever I see alcohol or coffee in Bernie's hands. It used to be at the old studio. You drink coffee a little more frequently now. At the old studio, if I walked in and I saw like a cup of coffee from the coffee shop in your hand, I would leave.
Yeah.
I can't be here.
Yeah.
I'm going to show another video. Lindsay kind of hinted at this at the Achievement Hunter panel. She and I have been working on something. We wrote what's going to be a mini-series of animated adventures together. She came up with the idea when I put out an email for anyone who had any ideas, and she came back right away with this great idea, and we started working on it. It'll go into production pretty soon, and I have a teaser for it. So
excited about this.
Animated adventurers.
Animated adventurers.
Thanks, guys. We're really looking forward to working on this.
So, I've seen the script and recorded some audio for it. And when I recorded the audio for episode 100, I was very similar to Joel in those outtakes. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yep.
I read this one, the Animated Adventurers one, and I was like, you all cannot write stuff anymore. I could not follow it. I had to have you like, okay, who?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Speaking of episode 100 and it being weird, the weirdest thing is the goat, and I want to give a shout out to Shannon McCormick. He's over here. Stand up. He did a great job as the voice of the goat, and he was a big inspiration when we were talking. When I came up for the idea of this short, he and I at Comic-Con last year were talking a lot about Adventure Time, in this episode in particular called King Worm, which was a big inspiration for the episode. So thanks, Shannon.
The best sounding goat around.
Kind of sounds like Strong Bad.
What an asshole. I don't even know why I said that. I have no idea what that was. Like,
All right, now we have another video we're going to show.
Oh,
but
so unfortunately, we have to end the stream. So for people watching on the internet, this is the end of the Animated Adventures panel. So
For
if
you.
someone could please turn the stream off
You know,
and
we
let us
could've
know
just
when it is
ended
off.
it and said goodbye and then
No,
told
we want
them.
that
we
way
want
they-
them to know that they should be
They missed
here.
something, and that they should come to RTX
I
next
just
year.
want you to know I'm not in
Journal entry 101.